Shut up and sit down.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fight for Liberty show. Background's a little bit janky today because we're back home. But today's episode I am really excited about. We have 4 different state chairs from Young Americans for Liberty here with us today. So I'm going to bring them up one by one. From Tennessee, we have Mr. Garrett Frye. From Pennsylvania, we have Mr. Ben Heckman, which I'm going to say all day. New York, Sara Razi, and Texas.
New Jersey.
New Jersey, my bad.
It's okay.
That was projection. I was like, I always consider you like, you're one of my people because you're like right there. New York. The New England is all the same state to me. And Jenni from Texas. Welcome, everybody. How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having us.
Going great.
It's going awesome.
Okay, so first I want you guys to just go one by one and tell the short version of like why YAL, how they roped you guys into this stuff.
Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, so long story short, I made a tweet back on Twitter after Mobilize got shut down, and I was like, why aren't there any more libertarians in New Jersey? And then Maggie Anders, my former regional director, she saw the tweet, and then she tags the former New Jersey state chair, Akshay Arora, into it. And then I have all these Rutgers YAL people start DMing me, asking me to join their YAL chapter. And then slowly I got roped in. I mean, back then I was involved in Turning Point USA as a campus coordinator. So I was like kind of iffy about joining YAL. But then the guys at Rutgers YAL slowly warmed up to me and became my brothers. And then slowly I became the New Jersey state chair within 2 months. So that's how I got involved.
All right. 2 months and you were already a state chair.
Yeah.
Impressive. What about you, Jenni?
I got involved like back in 2019. I was on campus and Turning Point USA had a free speech ball. So I went and wrote on the ball, and then someone from Turning Point USA mentioned something about Young Americans for Liberty, and I was like, what's that? And they basically explained to me that they're a libertarian organization, and a lot of the issues that when he explained to me what YAL stands on, I was like, okay, where has this one been? Like, how come they're not on my campus? So I was the chapter president for my UNT chapter, University of North Texas. I'm still the chapter president. And I'm also the state chair. Probably should not be taking both of those heads. Anyway, I started the chapter back in 2019. And then I went on OWD campaign last year, June 2020. And I was going to go to Mobilize. And when I found out it was canceled, I literally cried in my motel room because like I was working so hard, knocking doors, and like the fact that it was canceled, that was my reward at the end. But feel you there. Yeah, but at the same time, I was knocking doors for Operation Win at the Door, it was the same month that I became state chair. So yeah.
Nice. I can definitely relate to the that being on a deployment and just being like, okay, just make it to Mobilize. You're just here so that you can meet all of your heroes in a couple of weeks. Like, it's good. It's gonna be fine.
I was there because like I
spent that weekend in an Airbnb.
Issues, I like talking to regular people and advocating for them to vote for the right person, so I can push my agenda in their state.
Right.
Don't you mean our agenda?
Oh, well, it's my agenda too. But yeah, our agenda.
Commandeering the agendas. Oh my gosh, man! Already, you guys are a hoot. I knew there was no possible way this was going to be a boring episode. It's just impossible. All right, Garrett, how did you get roped into this wonderful group of people?
Yeah, so like I was talking about earlier, I go to American University in Washington, D.C., which is by many metrics one of the most left-leaning schools in the U.S., so that is a fun time. So I was always looking for a group like this. I didn't really know it existed yet until after the pandemic. I had to come back home. I literally just typed on Google. I literally think Young Americans, Liberty, those keywords, and I found it. And I started volunteering and doing some activist work. And in a couple months, I was top activist, state of Tennessee, and got offered the position of state chair. So where we're at now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, and we can skip Ben because he's not important.
All right, go ahead.
What about you, Ben?
So I got into college my freshman year. I was already a libertarian. I was really angry at the world, and I wanted to start just a libertarian club on campus, just for anyone, small, big L, whatever. And my professor was telling me about this club called Young Americans for Liberty because I had come to him with this idea. And so I found them on Facebook, the Millersville University YAL chapter, and I messaged them on Facebook. I didn't hear back for about a year. And then when I did, they were like, yeah, come do a meeting or whatever, hang out. And then we did, and then it was all
our website wrong. There's an E in.
Oh my God, David, what are you doing your time today?
If I can, I don't know if you can, but my name has an A in it as well.
Oh my God.
YA.
As I was saying.
I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt or anything.
David might need to go take a spelling class or two.
Yeah. Okay. So if anybody's watching this and you have graphic skills, help me. I need help.
Yeah.
We need Naomi.
David pays really well, by the way, just so you know.
Oh my God.
$80 a day.
So I got more involved with them. I became the president for my chapter, and then after a few months doing stuff, free speech balls and stuff, I got asked to be state chair. Actually, on my birthday, they asked me to be a state chair, which is cool. And in last September, so it's been uphill ever since.
And what's been the hardest uphill of that? Why uphill?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go. So the hardest uphill battle that I faced as a state chair was definitely recruiting online and also maintaining those connections online and also activism. So the problem with how the lockdowns have impacted the Northeast is that it's overlooked by many regions within YAL. There's different cultures when it comes to, all of us. So Ben is from Mid-Atlantic, Garrett and Jenni are from the South, I'm from the Northeast. So the Northeast region has been hit a lot, and we have been forced to, go online and do activism online, which is basically having a guest speaker come to your Zoom meetings, and that's it. So basically, life has just been shut down, and it's very hard to keep your activists very active. So what I did within most of my chapters in YAL is that I basically put them together for a happy hour, always after our general meetings, and then we would just play Among Us or Kahoot, and that would just create a bonding session together, and that's how we all came closer during the lockdowns.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my uphill battle might be my head. I kind of whenever I'm passionate about something, I kind of overwork myself on that, and then it comes to bite me in the comes to bite me in the ass, essentially. So I don't know. I guess like I love Yao that much, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes my passion drives me to work hard, sometimes to a fault. And I have to remember to take steps back and take a break.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I can
relate.
I was gonna say I can relate to Jenny. One of my uphill battles is just realizing how, I guess, strange I am or different. Someone who's interested in pursuing, liberty and making principle into policy. Very few people are actually, even vote, and then even fewer are of the libertarian, liberty mindset. And so just putting that in perspective, how alone you really are. But that's why I like groups like this, because you don't feel less alone, and you can actually get stuff done, and good culture. And yeah.
I'd say personally, I guess my biggest uphill battle would be like keeping and maintaining, or not maintaining and keeping, but rather like starting new chapters in my region. Just because of the lockdowns, like I became state chair in the middle of the lockdowns, and every time I've tried to start a new like presence in like whether it's a community or college, there's either like not that many people available, or I'll go to like York College and then get put in handcuffs, so like just that, but yeah, I would have to say just starting and maintaining new chapters during all the COVID shit.
I can definitely add on to that. I mean,
Okay, I'd want you to tell that story.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go first, and then I'll ask.
Yeah,
Ben
I was
that
just
question.
gonna go real quick. So, like, basically, to sum it up, I'm very similar to Ben in that type of aspect. It is very hard to identify leaders and also committed activists in New Jersey itself. It's extremely hard to keep everyone motivated after lockdowns, and that's the biggest struggle we had to face in the Northeast and also Mid-Atlantic as well, and other regions that suffered.
Yeah.
It's been weird campaigning up here, especially in like Brooklyn for the last couple of weeks. We've been petitioning and even just like trying to get people to want to talk to you or even engage like that is very weird around here. But Ben, I want you to tell me a little bit more about that story of getting put in handcuffs while you were trying to start a chapter.
Yeah. Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was I guess a little more than a week ago. Me and my friend Tommy Guerreri, who's a fellow Yale activist in York, we went to York College with the intent to start a new chapter. And so, we're going around campus talking to students all day. I'm at this lunch table with these two students, and this officer walks up to me, and he's like, "Are you a student here?" And I told him I didn't think I had to answer that question. And then he says, "No, you're actually on a private campus, so you're being detained." I was like, "Oh, okay, that means I have to give you information." So I gave him information. I started filming him, and I asked him for his name and his badge number, and he gave them to me. It was honestly a pretty cordial interaction that was definitely bound to end in a couple of minutes with me leaving peacefully. But I had to excuse myself from this table I was at with these students because like I just brought the police to their lunchtime. So I'm going to leave. And so you can hear me in this video, by the way, it's on Twitter. I like excuse myself and stand up and walk away from this table. At about that time, officer number 2, aka Officer Piggy, walked over, and he just handcuffed me.
Oh my god.
So, and then so they walked me back to the cop car, kept me there for like 20 minutes, did a background check on me, drove me back to my car and told me I was getting a citation. I got the citation the other day. It's like $450. I'm also not allowed to go back to that campus ever again.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, they're not letting you go back on campus ever again? They banned you from there?
Yeah.
I fucking hate private colleges.
Nice.
Yeah, me too.
Well, good thing Yale is seeking legal
Gosh.
action.
As they
So,
should.
They're
It's
seeking
very
legal
similar
action.
to Skidmore.
Walking around with a sign and
Oh my
clipboard.
They're not seeking legal action. There's really not anything legally they can do because I was technically violating their rules, right? But we are putting a lot of pressure on them as an organization to change the policy that led to that happening, which I guess just not letting non-students on campus, which you should let non-students on campus. But there's a lot of people that I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of people viewed this as like a free speech issue. I view it more as a police not brutality, but like excessive force issue,
Mhm.
personally. I think they were within their rights to ask me to leave, but like you didn't have to put me in handcuffs.
It's a good story.
Right.
Cool
Yeah,
story.
that's insane.
Yeah, I was messed up.
Yeah, I've been put in handcuffs, but never for liberty. So that's impressive. That's
and
a little bit
so-
more noble.
Well, the Daily Wire decided to do a story about this because I posted the video on Twitter, and then Ben Shapiro shared it on Facebook.
based.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
You're not a real Yale activist until you've been placed in handcuffs.
exactly. So wait, I just want to say, I'll take credit for getting Ben Shapiro's news outlet to be critical of the police, which that wasn't exactly.
Pretty fucking impressive. So I'm assuming based on your sentence there that you have similar stories, Sarah?
Oh
Or is
my
that-
god. No, I don't. But I am currently the state chair on the case for like Skidmore. Skidmore College is an upstate. It's this really, really private, left-leaning college in upstate New York in Saratoga. So basically, me and my regional director Haley Gray, we've been working on that case, and Yale's taking legal action against Skidmore because there was a really biased SGA that shut down the club, usually making up lies about our organization, calling us a far right organization when we're really not. We're not really right leaning. We are just pro liberty, in a sense. So
Right.
they made up these false lies about our organization, and they shut down the chapter on campus.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You can really tell how much people hate like just the idea of liberty or freedom or just consciousness by how much people push against these kinds of things in school. I was very critical of Yale for years, and finally got to meet some of you guys. Finally went on an OWD deployment, and I was like, okay, most of what I've heard about Yale is bullshit. Good to know. And then I went back to some of those friends, and it's all still the same conversations, and it's all just misinformation coming from outside of the movement about it's really just divisive. It's just trying to be like, oh, you guys aren't really pro-liberty because you endorse this person, and you aren't really pro-liberty because you aren't winning this thing, and it's the dumbest thing. It's like, why is there any kind of infighting between the liberty movement?
Well, a lot of that hate, if I may, just because I've had some criticism thrown at me about Yale. A lot of the criticism comes out of the LP because they don't like that we endorse Republicans all the time. But I'm like, look, I am an LP guy. I donate to 3 of their caucuses right now. They need to do a better job at getting viable candidates on the ballot.
Right.
I think that's happening.
I think we won one, like we had a victory
In Wyoming,
Yeah, Wyoming.
Marshall Burt.
One
Marshall Burt.
LP rep.
It depends on the race, though. So if you're looking at like a race like that, obviously probably maybe not a Republican might be running against him. That's how an LPer can win in a race. So it all depends on the race, on who's running. Then we would endorse that candidate.
Well,
I think
considering it was Wyoming, he had a better chance. So
He did, yeah.
I think another thing, I think it's a hard pill to swallow. It certainly was for me. The idea that a Republican is capable of pursuing a Libertarian Party platform. As Ben was saying, there's not a lot of national representation, if at all. And like, it's a fact that, someone like Thomas Massey or Justin Amash, despite being part of the Republican Party, has done more for liberty than,
Amash switched parties.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, this is awkward.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of those things that I don't know who started that back and forth, because Yal is older than me being a libertarian. But ever since I joined the movement back in like mid 2016, it was a both sides like pissing match. It was like, oh, you guys can't win, and oh, you guys are only endorsing Republicans, and it was a continuous back and forth. Like just being on my OWD deployment, I was sitting in the house listening to my ED talk about how useless the Libertarian Party is, and how people that run in the Libertarian Party aren't ever going to do anything. Meanwhile, I had just finished up running as a Libertarian. So, that kind of response back from Yal isn't necessarily uplifting either. And I agree. It's especially with what you said, Garrett, it took a mentality shift to be like, okay, we can actually have allies in other parties. And actually working for Tulsi Gabbard is what kind of broke that down for me. That happened before I went to work for Yale. But I think just the whole conversation of which is a better which strategy is better between running, or honestly, the Libertarian Party and Yale shouldn't be competing in any way, shape, or form. They're two completely separate ideas and entities. One's a PAC, one's a party. Like, they really aren't even conflicting.
Right.
Hey, my Twitter handle is the only one on the bottom of the screen, right?
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah, what is that?
What the heck?
There you go.
Okay,
And that one's gonna set
through
up.
them. I have all of them lined up, I'm gonna flip through them. Jesus Christ. Way to pat yourself on the back, Ben.
Oh my god.
I just gotta make sure my homies are getting a proper shout out.
Ironic. Hi, Zach. Everyone's there.
Wait, how are you seeing these people?
Wait, what?
I was reading the comments.
Oh, you can read the comments? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
How?
Hi, Jesse. Hi, Zach.
Click on comments and
See it.
StreamYard.
Okay, word.
Yeah, it's like right there. But I go back and forth between ignoring the comments completely and then engaging with them way too much. And I've yet to find a good middle ground. But yeah, there's some lit ass people up in these comments watching. So
Zach Ritt, what is up?
Hi, Unironic and Cap.
Unironic
One of
and
my
Cap
favorite
is in the
mutuals. He's coming to rep, guys.
nice.
Yes.
I think so. I mean, I think Chelsea got him to register. I don't know what's happening.
Dave, have you registered for Rev?
I am. I literally just filled it out last night. I got like 6 different. Yes, you guys are working now. I got like 4 emails yesterday that was like, this is your last day to sign up for Revolution. And I was like, oh shit, I guess I kind of have to do that today then, don't I?
Hey, Danny.
Oh, hey, Danny.
I'm actually really excited because I was super stoked to go to Mobilize, and then as we discussed earlier, that all just went to hell. And so yeah, I'm really excited, especially after this past weekend and more Liberty things coming up. Like, the less we interact online and through screens, and the more that we actually get to like hug each other and share meals, the better the Liberty movement's going to be.
Dude, David and I got to hug this weekend. I can say it was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Timothy.
Agreed.
Hi, Tim.
You got like a huggable vibe.
All our friends are here.
I think it's funny. More of your guys' friends are here than mine.
Oh my god.
Real friends. How many of us?
But yeah, I really, it was really neat.
Oh, you cut out, David.
No. Yeah, my internet here is not as good as it used to be. My parents just switched internet providers while I was gone, and now it's like, not that it was good to begin
Bless
with,
you.
but it was. Bless you.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to ask you guys all the question that literally every freaking form that your organization sends out ever asks. And are any of you guys considering running for office sometime soon? Wow, that was a lot of good oh my god. Complete silence. And just like
All right, I'll be honest. Yeah, why not?
Undergrad. Wait, let me just.
I'm just trying to finish college and just go to law school. So
yeah.
And then
If
run
I
for
get into law
office.
school, then I will run after I finish law school. So.
That's smart.
If I prove to myself that I can be a competent human being, then maybe.
And stop getting into Twitter fights.
No.
But yeah,
My
the end goal is to run for public office of some sort, whether it's
Typical
state rep,
libertarians.
governor, or even president. I'm running. So, yeah.
I have too much fun dunking on politicians right now to like consider running for one, but maybe.
I feel that.
If all of us should move to the same state and run for like state rep or something, and
all of y'all should move to Texas.
All right, I'm down.
I don't want to move to Texas. Texas is overrated.
What?
You
Honestly,
live in
Tennessee is better.
Hold on.
Yeah, wait.
And
I'm trying to go to Tennessee though, for real. Tennessee's a good state.
Yeah, but we got Dollywood. What does Texas have?
You also have Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville's kind of.
Texas has the Alamo. Are you kidding me?
Bruh, do you know who fought at the Alamo?
Texas and Mexico.
We're called the volunteer state because there were no Texans willing to fight the Alamo. All the Tennesseans had to do it. Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. That was a good point. I wouldn't have thought of that one.
David Crockett.
Do not use Jenni as a referral. Use me, Jenni Thee Libertarian.
I need referrals too. Guys, like I have your registration in. Use Sara Razi as your referral.
I'm trying to get paid. I want my bonus.
This is why the Northeast is the better region. Sorry.
Trying to pay tuition.
Oh. This is great. I used Ben because he literally saved my entire life over the weekend. So I felt like I owed him at least a little bit.
Aww. Anything for you.
Man, they're literally bribing people up in the comments here now. All right.
Yeah, like we have a stager who's trying to get in Rev Abs.
Yeah.
I'll Venmo y'all.
Wow.
I hate him. Oh my god, Autumn's here.
I hate every single person in here. Gunpowder and vanilla.
Oh,
God damn it.
Same. I feel you, gunpowder. Same. Okay, so Jenni and Sara are gung-ho. Garrett's too much enjoying dunking on people. Ben, I didn't hear an answer from you. When are you running for office?
I don't know. If I do, it'll probably be for like a local office in Pennsylvania, and it will be some point in the next decade. So, I'll keep you posted.
President Heckman.
Why 10 years? Why do you gotta wait 10 years?
Because I don't have that kind of freaking drive yet. You kidding me? I'll get there.
Well, what's driving you right now to be state chair at Pennsylvania?
I mean, Jenni is
I don't think you can compare being a state chair to being mayor of.
No, you're in charge of your network. You're literally like in charge of your.
You're right. You know what? I'm announcing it right here and now. Right here and now, I'm running for mayor of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Bet.
Are you
Alright.
happy now, Jenny? Are you fucking happy?
All right. Well, I'll be there. I'll be there knocking doors for sure. So
I don't want you knocking doors for me,
I'll
Debbie.
go. Move to PA just to vote for Ben.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm not moving to PA, but I'll knock doors.
Thanks, y'all. I really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh,
Oh.
I was in
We can't hear
Brooklyn
you.
working with the city council candidate.
City
How
council
about now?
candidate?
We can hear you. Yeah. You're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was in Brooklyn working with the city council candidate, and one of his competitors, like canvassers, came by and didn't realize that she was talking to the other candidate, and let slip that she was from California, and my candidate was just like going off to me about like, oh, these dirty politicians are bringing in people from out of state and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, bro, I told you I worked in 14 states last year, none of them being the state I lived in. What are you talking about? Like, this is normal. Like, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Knock doors for
Sometimes
you.
if you're knocking doors and you
Come on.
accidentally mention that you're not from that place, like the voters will get really like they'll start questioning you. Like,
Sus.
they get really sussed out. It's funny.
And sometimes they call the police.
Or they sick
I
their
have yet
freaking
to
pit
knock
bulls on you.
doors. I am the only state here who hasn't knocked like doors yet.
Not
Shame.
I will.
Oh, you will. What is y'all's max like doors knocked a day?
I think I got like 120 doors one day.
How many?
I got
I had
420, doors knocked in one day.
That's pretty good.
42069.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Legend. We know.
Legend right there. I think my best day was like 180, 190, somewhere in there. But
Damn.
not crazy.
Not 42069.
No, not quite. I'm not as good as Sarah. I will say though that there's somebody up in the comments here, Jesse Welsh, who did kick my ass indoors on that OWD campaign.
Hi, Jesse.
Shout out Jesse.
I will gladly concede that one. Oh yeah. And this like I don't ever want to knock doors in the South in the summer again though. That's just something that I will just vehemently refuse to ever do again. I did South Carolina in August and that's never happening again.
Yeah.
Just
No, I'll tell you on that.
Miserable.
I've only knocked doors. I've only been on campaigns in like the Midwest and up, like Kentucky and South. But it was hot there. I couldn't imagine Tennessee or Texas, South Carolina.
Missouri.
Or like a state with hills, like a lot of hills in the
Missouri.
song.
Missouri has too many hills. I hated it.
Dude,
I
the hills are the worst.
Mm-mm.
Oh my
Can't
God.
do it.
Mm.
all I could think about while we were in Pittsburgh all weekend and everybody was complaining about how idiotic the roads are there and just how little the entire city makes sense. That there's like a random small town in Massachusetts that I knocked doors for in this past year, and it was the same fucking layout of just like you're just like walking like up 90-degree angles and it just makes no sense. That was not fun. I looked at my phone. You know how your phone like tries to calculate how many steps or how many like times you walked up and down stairs. It tried to tell me that I had climbed like 700 flights of stairs in one day, and I was like, nope, that was just me walking up and down hills because Massachusetts makes no sense.
Right.
Cities should not be built on the side of a mountain. Just don't do that, guys.
Yeah, tell that to all of Pennsylvania.
God, Pennsylvania is a mess, though. It's like the middle of nowhere.
What?
Literally, there's nothing in Pennsylvania.
Sarah, remind me what state you're from right now.
Okay, do not start.
I'm just saying, you have no room. I would
Y'all
take
have
critique.
nothing in
I would
PA
take
except for land.
No, I will take Pennsylvania critique from Garrett and Jenny and David, but not you, Sarah.
Hey,
Don't you have to pay to like enter your own state? What are they called? Toll roads?
what? Wait, what?
Toll
They have
roads?
there's toll roads like interstate
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
or intra, whatever.
I can't.
I have
interstate going from New York to Jersey, and that costs like $15 to $16, I believe. I don't know. They've raised the toll price in
Easy
2019.
Pass. Easy Pass gang, dude.
Easy
That shit
Pass
so
is
nice.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never ever had a toll road ever until I got to New Jersey.
And literally everyone I know who's not from New Jersey always gets a ticket somehow
Yeah.
when they drive into New Jersey.
I'm in perpetual debt to the state of New Jersey because they wouldn't accept my card. I'll just never go back to the state. I don't care.
God.
You'll have a better life for it.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, probably, yeah, it's a good life choice. I actually I've gotten pulled over in Jersey a bunch of times, but it's like the only place that I've ever actually been able to talk myself out of a ticket.
Nice.
I don't know why. I have no luck anywhere else, but in Jersey, they're just nice to me because they're like, "Oh, you're just a stupid New Yorker that doesn't know how to drive." Okay.
I talked myself out of a bunch of tickets. Like, I mean, I believe when I was 19, I was supposed to get like 3. I almost got 3 tickets. And then I talked myself out of 2 of them, and I only got 1.
Have you guys ever gotten like had the cops like pull up on you while knocking doors? Like, how do you handle that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's happened to me before.
Oh my God.
Yeah. but you know, it was coming anyway because I was knocking doors in Missouri. But Missouri people, like most of the people that I talked to, like I did not find a single black person there. So it was going to happen. A lot of them never seen a black person before.
Oh my God.
Funny enough, when they called the cops, it wasn't necessarily because of me, which I was surprised. But it was because of my ED, my election director. He had Arizona plates, and he showed up at the house. And I was just sitting in the car, you know, and like they saw the plates, and they were scared because I guess somewhere in the South, I was not aware of this. If someone came to your home and had like outside plates, they're probably there to rob you, especially if you live on a farm or like a, you know, open land property. Yeah. They just assume that you're gonna rob the place. So but obviously nobody got arrested or anything. But yeah. Sometimes cops are called on.
That's awful.
I had the cops called on me when I was in Indiana. So I was knocking for Zach Payne, and I guess the incumbent, his brother, was the police chief. And so someone called because they reported suspicious activity from like my red Ford Escape. And so when the cop came up, I was like, oh no. And so he was like, what you up to? And I was like, you know, I'm just canvassing for Zach Payne. He was like, can you prove it? And so like I showed it to him, but like I was expecting to get like a citation or something just because the police chief's was brother with the representative, but he like kind of he didn't say, but he was kind of like, I could tell he was on my side, like he supported Zach Payne, and so he kind of just like let me go. So it was chill. It was also, I feel like, an abuse of power because if I was doing something illegal, it's like probably shouldn't have done that. But it's all okay. Zach got elected. We're Gucci.
There you go. Yeah, I never had any like very negative interactions. Probably, I think about 3 times I had a police officer actually show up while I was knocking, but they were always really chill about it. They always say, actually, and I think Ben, the nicer of the 2 police videos that you posted over the last couple of bit, it was very most of them were very similar to that one. Just we're trying to figure out what to tell the people that are calling us scared, because we need to be able to give them accurate information that they're doing something, working, like that you're not robbing them. So we're just trying to make sure the dispatch has the right information.
If they, the one that I interacted with tried to get my ID and stuff, and he actually tried to detain me, but I convinced him to not do that because I wasn't doing anything illegal. So definitely try to do that, I guess.
You have to convince the cop. I swear, I'm not doing anything illegal, officer.
I was like, well, why are you detaining me? Like, you have to have like probable cause. Like, what crime do you think I did? And he just couldn't come up with one.
I feel like, I mean, I have never had an experience with like a police officer besides the fact that, I talked myself out of those 2 tickets. But like on Friday, I just found out today that since like our university, like our 2 organizations, like Turning Point and also Rutgers Yale, we're hosting a protest against the Rutgers vaccine mandates. Apparently the police are going to be there. So it's going to be interesting. I know the 2 deans are going to be there, and I'm just prepared for almost anything. So we'll see.
Good luck with that.
That's good.
Wait, when is it?
It's this Friday at Rutgers University, 145 College Avenue, which is Brower Hall. It's outside of Brower Hall. So this will be held in New Brunswick on Friday at 11 a.m.
I might pull up. Jersey's
Oh my God, you should.
Jersey's close. I'm serious.
Okay, dude, I will send you more information. If you guys want more information, it's on my Twitter, so you could just go to Sara_Razi29. If you scroll down, you'll see the information about the protest.
All right, I'll bring some of my activists over. We'll make an event out of it.
Oh my God, awesome. We will be tabling. Yes, we'll be tabling, so if you want to help out with tabling.
I will.
Oh my God, let's go.
Dude, half of this episode has just been us discussing work. It's just
I'm sorry. We're so sorry.
Honestly, that's way more common on this show than you might think. Very often, actually. It's like, I'll like have my friends on and we'll end up like just going off into some weird side conversation that nobody watching is going to understand. And it's like, sorry, guys. You just got a very unwelcomed look into my personal life that you didn't want to see, but it's there now.
Zach. I see Zach say you Turning Point, but I support the protest. Thank you.
I was actually because I found it interesting both you and Jenny mentioned that you found out about TPUSA first.
Yes.
And I find that very interesting because I feel like they somehow have a more public presence without actually doing nearly as much.
Yeah, isn't
that is very true. I feel like it's a whole marketing game. Like TPUSA obviously has more funding than Yale does. Yale has a lot of donors. TPUSA has more funding and is able to, market better, and they have better marketing strategies. The whole powerhouse behind having a good public image is marketing. Marketing is the key to have a good public image.
Yeah,
for sure.
I will commend them on their marketing because
we always do that.
Their social media is wow.
Dude, I just I just wish someone as cool and faced as Charlie Kirk was in charge of Yale. I'm just saying. Charlie Kirk. What a
oh my God,
what a great activist, dude. Like,
I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna make a dumb joke about his face. Go ahead.
That's good. That's good. I was just gonna say I respect the I have nothing but respect for the activists at Turning Point. I do think what some would see as Yale's handicap, which is, less donations, it's really our asset because we have more volunteers because of it. So we have more face-to-face interactions. And so I think it's precisely because we don't have as much money, we're able to make more effective change, you know?
What I really wish that other Yale Staters do is form a coalition with other like right-leaning organizations on campus because if the left can coalition, then why can't the right? And since we endorse Republicans, aren't we the official key to forming that coalition? So at Rutgers, that's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm the VP of the Rutgers Yale chapter, and also I'm the VP of the Rutgers Turning Point chapter, and that's how I formed this protest.
Mm-hmm.
And on the flip side of that, I
Everyone's
can't
like,
say
no, Sarah.
That's so.
I mean, that's how you succeed.
I was gonna say real quick on the flip side of that, Sarah.
Yeah.
I'll uniting with like the college Republicans is great. Luckily, my chapter at Millersville has like really good relationships with the CRs and the college Democrats. So we we combine our meetings sometimes and just shoot the shit. It's kind of fun.
That is the key. Like
Yeah.
PA is really good with that, from what I've heard. I know you're good at that. I know Dan Rotante is like the king of doing that. So many people do that.
Yeah,
and
shout out
it's
to
really
Rotante.
important. Shout out to Rotante.
Rotante is one of our PA.
Yeah. He's like six
Very
now.
boomer,
What the hell?
senior.
God.
Pennsylvania State chair. So
he's like a dinosaur. Holy shit. He's been around for like years.
He's been in Yale for a while.
He's the guy that like initially got me into Yale. I love that man.
Holy crap. No way.
Yeah, because college is like 15 minutes away from mine.
That's hilarious that you guys are like, oh, he's a dinosaur. He's been in this 10-year-old organization for so long. Yeah, coalition building is the most important thing to liberty, in my opinion, at least, because I already mentioned this and I talk about it probably too much. Ben's definitely sick of me ranting about unity, but
no, actually, please rant more about unity because I'm also going to rant more about unity.
Me too.
Oh my gosh, honestly, like right now, I've never been more fired up for unity like ever than I am right now. Today's been fucking awesome day. I hate Twitter; it's a cesspool, but Twitter was based today. Twitter was super based today. Mostly inter-party drama. So I don't know how much of what happened spilled out into the non like big L libertarian world of Twitter, but there was. I mean, we're talking some of the people that have spent like the last 2 to 4 years just vehemently like hating each other with burning passions, literally making up entire groups dedicated just to recruiting more people so that they can fight this other person's people better. Having just awesome fucking conversations, just finding common ground, admitting that they were wrong about each other, agreeing to work together, like group chats are starting, like just things are happening with people that should, like, if you had looked at Twitter a week ago, you would have said that there was no possible way for these people to have ever had a positive conversation. And then there was just like dozens of them in the same one positive conversation today. And I'm stoked because, I mean, shit, some of them are in the comments of this, Mr. Cathedral. It's just great. It's just really great and honestly, like I said earlier, I attribute most of it to finally meeting in person with a lot of these people. It's really easy to hide behind Twitter and be an asshole, but it's a lot harder to find like that one thing you disagree on when you're face to face. Like, why would you want to focus on that when you can share a blunt and have a good time with somebody who you agree with on 98% of all things?
Right.
Okay, rant over.
The 80-20 rule is so important. If you agree with them 80% of the time, then, you know.
Someone else said this on Twitter earlier, and I forget who it was, but they said unity doesn't have to mean uniformity. And I think that is a really good thing to say. And I think a lot of people get those words really confused.
Yeah.
You know, like you can coalition with the 3%ers and march for gun rights, and you can go march with Black Lives Matter against police brutality. You do not have to ascribe to all of their ideas.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, Zach in the comments is right. It was Ethan Bishop Henchman that said that the other day.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just right there.
He was
The
just
LP first
typing out a
gentleman.
storm. Base.
So many of these people are just way more based than the average human, and I think that's really why, for me, unity is so important, because if you look at like just the average human in America right now, they're so far gone that like the idea of pushing away someone who agrees with me even like a little bit, even if you're just like, you're against mask mandates, okay, thank you, for the love of God, thank you, because I can't find anyone else in my hometown that is, so why would I push you away? Like I'm trying to like find anyone, literally anyone that agrees with me on anything, because so many people are just lost.
I think there's a really big like impetus, at least from what I've seen. I could be wrong. I feel like a lot of people in my circles put more prioritization on like owning the libs than like making liberty win. And like, don't get me wrong, like libs deserve a considerable amount of ownage, but like what's more important, like Turning Point, it's like, yeah, they're, Charlie Kirk is a thing, but it's like, that's an extra person who is gonna, stand with me and protest, for freedom of speech or overturn some gross campus codes. Like, I don't see the problem with it for achieving our goal.
I am so over that whole owning the libs thing. That was like when I was a baby conservative, and I was a little off-right girl, and then I evolved into the Chad libertarian queen that I am today. But yeah, I'm still a conservative though. But yeah, I'm over the whole owning the libs thing. Like, maybe we could like find the things that we agree on with the libs, and then use that connection to get what we want. So I don't know. So
owning the libs is not a personality trait at all. It's just bullshit.
Right.
Hero videos.
I'm tired of it. Like I'm the whole culture war thing. It was like,
yeah,
it's propaganda.
The real culture war is authoritarianism versus libertarianism.
Facts.
Yep.
Yes.
Also, the best way to own the libs is to outlib them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing owns a lib harder than making them stand there and watch a conservative right winger own them on all of their own points. Like, own the libs on being better than them at police brutality. Like,
yes.
Be more consistent.
Please.
Right.
Oh, freaking GOP.
Tell me how you really feel, Jenny.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I am involved in my local GOP, but like, dang, I can't sit through 2 hours with somebody mouthing off about these conspiracy theories about Trump coming back to the White House and I don't know, stolen election, culture war, Dr. Seuss. It gets on my nerves after a while. So
the most pressing issue of our time.
If we could just focus on things that are actually important, like, I don't know, police reform or gun rights or I don't know.
The war act.
Golly.
For real. I went off on like I think I actually distracted some people that were in the tent participating in the actual LP convention on Saturday, because I was just like ranting at one of my friends because they were the convention went to shit. We don't have to talk about that for a portion. And somebody came up to the table that I was tabling at and just, so what do you think about what's going on so far? And I was like, you want to know what I think? I think while we've been arguing about this bullshit, hundreds of people got blown up with American-made bombs. That's what I think. Like, this isn't fucking important, people. But yes, please tell me about how many Dr. Seuss books you snap purchased after they got discontinued so that you could own the lid.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
I put a green eggs and ham skin on my AR-15 actually.
Okay, that would be super based,
That
actually.
would. I don't even own an AR-15. That was just.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Yeah. So I definitely I gotta agree with you. When I came into politics, I was definitely part of the right versus left, at least a little bit. I hated the right because it's what I came from, and I was like rejecting them, but I still was based in this, conservatism is the way, and you guys are trying to just like destroy the moral makeup of my country. That's what those crazy leftists are doing. And, I fully believe that. Even as a libertarian, like campaigning for Gary Johnson, I still was like, fuck the Democrats. Like, I still somehow, even though I knew that Trump and Clinton were almost equally bad, like there was still a very noticeably higher hatred for the Democrats. Now that's gone. That's completely gone, especially after watching the Republican Party just try to destroy liberty as much as they possibly could. Watching the Republicans in Texas try to throw it, the entire libertarian ticket off the ballot, like statewide, like 3 or 4 different times. Even after they were stopped, they tried it again a different way, and then they were stopped, and then tried to do it again. Watching the Republicans in Arizona literally change the law on how one of their elected positions work so that the libertarian candidate who's overqualified for the job and would have won in a landslide couldn't even legally run anymore. Like, I'm completely done with both parties. But the people within those parties, that's the important part. The Republican Party and the Democratic Party are both complete cesspools with no redeeming qualities. However, people that are registered Democrat or Republican, that doesn't mean that they are cesspool humans with no redeeming qualities. And that's the differentiation that I didn't make very well for quite some time, and I'm still kind of struggling to.
I think it's leadership, because they will abuse the loyalty and, moral goodness of their constituents and tell them literally whatever. Because people are quick to go to that left versus right, and it's unfortunate that they are very good at manipulating that. And so I think it's leadership is definitely where the cess comes from.
I think a lot of it also is probably the base of the Republican Party, because they're all old people that are very, very, very conservative. Not in some of the ways that we libertarian and libertarian-leaning conservatives like, you know what I mean? And until they're all, I hate to sound dark, but until they're all freaking dead, like the Republican Party is going to keep like pandering to that demographic, and they're going to keep, the idea that you can take over the GOP is ridiculous, especially with the base that we have now, or that they have now. So, yeah,
personally, I feel like, sorry. Yeah. Personally, I am a constitutional conservative. Like, that is like my ideology. I say that because, like, I am some type of conservative, but I also have many libertarian views as well as conservative views. So basically, I'm politically homeless, but I see the GOP as a tool that we can use in order to further the message of liberty. And that is the tool that we're using right now. However, Ben has a point. The way the GOP is looking right now, we cannot assume that we're going to have a total takeover of the GOP. We need to advance liberty in many ways, such as it could work for the local LP, but not a national LP, because national LP is not at that point yet. Mm-hmm. However, in American electoral politics, I believe the GOP is the best tool to use in order to advance liberty.
Yeah, and I think you can have both stances, right? You can think that the GOP is definitely a viable, mechanism to liberty, but it is not the mechanism. You know what I mean?
You can have several mechanisms. Hell,
Yeah.
like we have Tulsi Gabbard, and she's a Democrat, and she's somewhat liberty-leaning in several issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
She also has some conservative views as well. She just doesn't show it much. She is like a typical radical within the Democratic Party that has been overshadowed by the people that are representing the DNC. So you can have liberty in different levels. It depends on how you use it.
Yeah, and you can also work on, legislative campaigns. You don't have to work for candidates, right?
Also true. That's what I did in the second half of 2020 after Joe Jorgensen looked a little bit iffy and Grice tricked me into working for Donald Trump and Lindsey Graham. I was like, yeah, no, I think I'm just done knocking doors for humans right now, and we're gonna go petitioning, because then I can pick and choose issues and I can know that I agree with them. So I did 3 petitions. I reined in executive power in Michigan, helped expand gay rights in Michigan, and then helped block the ban of flavored tobacco in California. And those are things that none of those things can just make a stupid tweet and fuck up my day. So it was so much nicer of a time to just be able, you know what, no matter what's going on, no matter who's saying what. Even actually the Unlock Michigan petition was probably the closest to that, because there was hyper partisan divide, and I was actually getting cursed out on the street for carrying this petition because I'm a right wing blah 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 that hates science and wants to kill grandmas because I don't want the governor of Michigan to be a tyrant.
Oh my god.
but I could just it's a lot easier to dismiss that as no, you don't know what you're talking about. If I'm knocking doors for a candidate and they're like, oh, but your candidate said this thing, it's you have to just be like, yeah, I know, but I'm still here anyway. And that just hurts your soul after a while. Yeah. It's just yeah. So I'm a big fan of going back and forth between legislative and campaigning, because sometimes even if you have the purist mindset, the hero worship is almost inevitable. I joined Tulsi Gabbard's campaign as I guess she seems okay, and now if people hear the way that I talk about her and think that I caught feelings or literally joined a cult or something, because I love that woman. She's an amazing human, and I actually love her as a friend and as a person now. And yeah, I definitely put her up on a pedestal during that campaign that she probably didn't actually belong on, and let me down a little bit because of it. So campaigns just in general are tough if you get personally involved at all.
Oh, I agree. It must be hard for campaigning for someone who you think is going to win the race, but then unfortunately they don't. I know several people who were on campaigns the last election cycle, and they were on OWD, and several candidates that they campaigned for lost. You pour all your blood, sweat, and tears into a campaign, and then your candidate loses.
Yep.
But it's worth it to bring out the message of liberty.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm actually very proud to say that all of the campaigns that I worked on in 2020 for YAL or associated groups, all of them won.
Except Trump.
So I say this because I worked for Trump in South Carolina and Biden in North Carolina, and they both won those prospective states. So therefore, I still consider it a victory.
All right.
You worked for Trump's campaign and Biden's campaign.
Wait, elaborate on that, please. Yeah, wait, dude, you just gotta pick a team, man.
Wow. This one is really homeless.
Dude, there's a whole bunch of carcasses in the LP you can choose from. I know if you want things to choose from,
So Trump was straight up kind of a trick. I thought I was just going to work for Nancy Mace, congressional candidate, and ended up working for her and Graham and Trump. So that was just miscommunication. GOP screwed over, mobilized the message. Shocker. Biden was as a favor to a friend. honestly. It was like for 1 week. And one of my friends like got a job like organizing a whole city's worth of door knockers, and her and most of our friend group were petitioners, not door knockers. So she was like, "Hey, you want to like come help?" And also very well paid. Biden's campaign was paying quite well. And actually, I wasn't even working for his campaign. I was working for a workers' rights PAC that had endorsed him. So they have to treat their employees well. They're a workers' rights PAC. Like they were just ridiculously above and beyond anything that you would consider like just normal treating your employees well. It was honestly like the best company I've ever worked for in that area because they were just great. But they were working for Biden. And then they ended up firing me because I wasn't hard enough for Biden.
Be hard enough for Biden?
Well, so there was a mixture between a little bit of data discrepancy where they thought that maybe I was messing with my data, but no door knockers mess with their data on apps, though, right? Like that's not a thing. And then somebody overheard me having a conversation with someone at the door about Joe Jorgensen instead of Joe Biden. And that, yeah, between those two things, like they were, I was gone pretty quick.
How would they feel?
You were loyal to the wrong Joe.
How would they feel about a person y'all voting for Kanye yet working on their campaign? Like, I was one of those people that voted for Kanye. I'm not gonna lie.
You wrote him in?
Yes, I did. I have a picture of it.
Do you think he's going to run as a Democrat in 24?
He better not.
He might.
Not.
I think he might.
No. Run as a
think call it
He's
in.
just running as a Republican. He's like I could just see it.
I could
Kanye
see him as a D.
2024.
I could see him as the Donald Trump of the D's.
Oh my God, that is.
Lord
I'm just saying. He
Kim did not deserve him.
Yeah, I'm just,
All my
honestly,
homies
I
love
like
Kanye.
Kanye.
Black Donald Trump.
The black Trump.
I like Kanye over the other people that were in that race purely because I think that we would have had the first he would have given us the best first lady out of any of those candidates, like by far. And also he seems to be like enough of a schizo that it would probably have been Kim running the country anyway. And that I would be much more okay with President Kim Kardashian than President Kanye West. It's just
I don't know
I
about
can
that.
see that.
That girl can run a business on
Right.
a business and
Yes.
then another business.
Can she record a Life of Pablo though? I don't think so.
Kris Jenner would run the country. Actually, Chris is a
That's pretty good.
mastermind.
That's
She
true.
is a mogul.
How do you guys feel about Caitlyn Jenner running for governor of California?
Yo, that ad.
Honestly,
I would vote for her.
I would vote for her too. I mean, like, it's not hard to get my vote. Like, honestly, if you support reopening of the state, like, honestly, that's better than Newsom. So, like, I can understand why there's some trad cons on Twitter. Like, personally, I have a friend who's a trad con. We had a huge conversation about this. Personally, I don't care if someone is transgender and they're running. I care more about principle than that. So honestly, I would vote for that.
She put out that ad that was pretty cool, and then she went on Fox News and started talking shit on homeless people. So, you know.
Oh yeah, that is true. Oh my God.
I haven't paid attention enough.
I'm honestly with you. I don't even know what ad Ben is talking about, but I'll have to look
I
at it.
saw
was
it.
like, what? Hold up.
She put out a really good ad, like surprisingly good. I heard a lot of the same people that worked on Trump's campaign are now working
I
on her
watched
campaign.
her ad. It was so good.
Yeah.
like
I saw that ad and wanted to vote for her.
yeah.
I'll have to check it.
If I lived in California, I would vote for her because I don't want Newsom. So
Well, it's not like a dichotomous idea like that. Because there's two different votes. Newsom can still get removed without it's like two different parts of the ballot. You vote to remove Newsom and then you vote to replace him with one of the choices. So people actually, I'm really proud. One of my proudest moments on my show is I convinced Carrie Wedler, who's like a very long-standing, like voting is violence style anarchist, to agree to actually show up and vote this year because she's just going to vote to remove Newsom and not the other half. And I'm like, ha,
Nice.
victory. And there's a libertarian running. There's like 3 or 4 Republicans running in that race, right? It's like a weird, convoluted race.
Is the libertarian Nick Wildstar? Because I know
he's a Republican.
Oh, that's news to me.
He is a Republican who is very, very, very well liked by the Libertarian Party and by the Liberty movement.
Hey, well, good for him.
Especially the Mises caucus.
Good for him. Hey, Liberty Republican for California governor. I mean,
he's interesting. He just like popped up out of nowhere because he decided to get himself arrested.
What did he get arrested for?
Recording a court proceeding.
Wow.
You're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to do that, but it's like, in my opinion, one of the dumbest laws in existence.
Right.
So I'm with him. It was kind of, the thing is, like, I can't tell if it was a publicity stunt or if he was like just genuinely wanted that recording, because I wouldn't blame that either. Like, if he wanted a recording of what was going on so that he could like take it to a lawyer or whatever, like figure out what to do next time. Like, I get the concept of wanting to record that, but it just worked out too perfectly that I'm like, was this on purpose? This might have been on purpose. But he's got a fairly good policy. He's got a pretty good personality. I don't know where he's gonna fall in the vote totals, but he's kind of dope.
Cool. I wish him luck.
Yeah, special elections are weird because this is like a partisan but non-partisan election. So there can be like a fuck ton of Democrats and a fuck ton of Republicans, and technically we could have ran as many candidates as we wanted also, and probably should have ran more than one, in my opinion. But it's gonna be weird. Yeah, I don't know about Caitlin though. I'm with you. I did hear her comments on the homelessness, and that's something that really. If you complain about homelessness without having a solution, you're dead to me politically.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's one of my deal breakers.
Dang, I really wish you didn't make any comment about the homeless.
Yeah, me too. This is awkward.
I can't support somebody that doesn't even care about the homeless.
Jenni and Sara hate the homeless, actually.
Like, I'll just feel bad. So it just convicts me. So,
If you guys also hate the homeless, go to yaliberty.org, sign up, and you can join up.
No, it's yaliberty.org/revolution. And then put in Sara Razi as your referral.
And then when they ask you why you want to go to Revolution, just type in "because I hate the homeless."
Yes. Oh my gosh. Where is Jenni? What?
She's gone.
She got too full of hate for the homeless. She had to excuse herself.
So who are you guys most excited to meet at Revolution?
Thomas Massey.
Look, Massey's cool. I'm trying to get that non-fungible token of Edward Snowden on Zoom, dude.
Oh my God! Yes.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I gotta agree with either Snowden or maybe Ron Paul. Honestly, I've never met Ron Paul, and that would be really cool, just because it's fucking Ron Paul. But Edward Snowden, I don't know if there's going to be like a Q&A thing for him or what, or I don't know. But if there is, seize that opportunity.
Yo, not gonna lie, when Ron Paul had the stroke last year, like a couple weeks before Mobilize, I was like, no, you can't. No, I have to meet you. Like, make it another couple weeks, bro. Like, no, like, please, for the love of God.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
I would have like that.
Man is such a fucking badass. I think Dave Smith said this in his speech on Friday, but the dude talks, or he has a stroke on Monday, and then by Monday he's like, "Yeah, let's talk about the Fed." Like, that's just the dude. Like,
Right.
he's just a base motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Yo, one thing that I could not ignore about Friday night was that I had 3 different people talk to me Friday night after Dave Smith's speech who worked on Ron Paul's presidential campaign and said that was better than any speech Ron Paul has ever given.
Ron Paul was not that charismatic of a person.
Agreed. I mean, he had the fire in some ways, but he couldn't carry a room the way that Dave can.
Yeah, it was. I think Ron's message was just so good that it resonated with so many people. He didn't really need that much charisma.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true.
He doesn't need charisma.
Yeah.
He's fine the way he is.
Yeah. Adorable old man who's like, yeah, let's abolish the Fed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that can get a round of applause for heroin in South Carolina is a hero in my book.
Yeah.
And will always be. He could, honestly, so many people have hate for Ron Paul for different things. And a lot of it's founded. Like, a lot of it is well founded. But I just don't care. I don't know if there's anything that he could do now to undo how much good he's done. Like, I just don't think that he could ever outweigh his good with bad. It's just not possible.
The dumbest critique of Ron Paul that I heard, and I heard this recently, was, oh, he charges like $50,000 to come speak at events or whatever. I'm like, yeah, if I was Ron Paul, I'd be doing that too.
Yeah.
Like, like,
yeah.
I already did all I needed to do for the Liberty Movement.
People would be booking him all the time. Of course, it's $50,000. He's got to freaking live his retired life. My gosh.
Man, Jenny just getting real defensive for Mr. Paul, Dr. Paul.
I'm a
big
fan. But yeah, of course he charges $50,000. I would do the same thing, especially if I want to be in charge of my own time and not get overbooked.
Facts. Someday I'll be able to charge that much to go speak. Maybe I'll go to Yale Revolution like 2048 or something like that and speak. Yeah. I was talking to somebody earlier about the naming of that because she asked me if I was going to YaleCon, and then the next message was, I know it's not called that, but whatever.
Dude, everyone calls it YaleCon. Like,
right.
in Yale, we all just call it YaleCon.
No, I call it Revolution.
I call it Rev.
I guess we call it Rev, but before Rev, me and at least some people in Mid-Atlantic were just like YaleCon. But
yeah.
Yeah, I have members calling it YaleCon. I'm just like, all right, dudes.
Well, she was like asking people, hey, are you going to Revolution 2021? Just sounds super sus.
Dude, how many times did you hear me ask that to people this weekend? It got so old.
Oh my God.
I was having to say September event.
I don't get it. How is it sus?
I mean, I'm hoping that it's like actually what it's advertising for, and we're actually just gonna like go burn down the state house or something. Like we're just gonna like turn it into an actual revolution. Just kidding. I'm kidding you too.
Is that there's gonna be speakers and trainings and
vaporwave,
a whole bunch of networking. So yeah.
But like we could get raided, you know.
Oh God.
I mean,
get raided.
I mean, John Brennan going on TV. I mean, like setting the stage for like.
He was a call out. He's tweeting us.
I think they even put that in the ad for Rev 21, like him just straight up calling out libertarians as a national threat on live TV. Like that's definitely like setting the stage for some. I don't know. I feel like us as libertarians are going to have a pretty difficult and annoying time in the years coming forward. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Like,
I've got some tough years ahead of me now.
Yeah.
I agree because the way the GOP is going right now, like it is split into 3 sections. Like you have the neocons, Then you have the NatCons who want to form this Trump party or the populist party, whatever. And then now you have libertarians trying to come in and fix it. So this is the 2024's real determinant of what path the GOP is going.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Do you have a prediction?
Paleocons.
I do not want to jinx
also
anything.
go into the populist camp. So, yeah.
You said who goes into the populist camp?
Paleocons.
Mm.
Because, like, at least some of the paleocons I know, like, their economic policies sound very populist. They're on that same culture war propaganda. So
They're also protectionists most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And they're very much protectionist on trade policy. So
Is that like the old base? I don't know what paleo means. I think paleontology.
Paleo is like late Rothbardian. Kind of.
Paleo is angry, bigoted white men.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
I
paleo
see.
means.
Paleo, hold on. Let me get the definition. Paleoconservatism is a political philosophy and variety of conservatism in the U.S., stressing American nationalism, Christian ethics, regionalism, and traditionalist conservatism.
Okay.
So,
It's like all of the good thing, like it's like if you take the moral compass of the right and then make it the most important fucking thing to them possible, and then make it to where they're okay with like murdering people that don't agree with it, and then you got paleocons.
yes. Then you have paleocons.
Not to be confused with paleolibs, which are like all of that minus the murdering people part, which is still kind of cringe, but like at least you don't take it to that level.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Actually, that was a big part of that Twitter shitstorm that I referenced earlier from today. Was like, what is a paleolib? Oh my gosh.
Yal's gonna adopt the paleo strategy. I think that should be what we do next.
Mm-hmm.
The late 90s or early 90s paleo strategy.
Yeah.
Bad joke.
Some people would argue that you guys already have.
Oh, yeah, they would.
The murdering of our
I
opposition.
can't defend y'all on that one. Well, like, I don't know. Some people have talked to me in the past saying that, like, oh, some of the candidates y'all endorse, they're not really pro-liberty. Okay, well, if we spent all our time finding people that are 100% libertarian, we're not going to have anything going. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that there's some nuance to that part of the conversation, because like Yal's endorsed some really shit candidates, just like some god awful humans in the past, and there's a handful of them that are really easy to throw in the faces of like Yal people, and one of my biggest critiques of like Eric Brakey is that rather than just like admitting that Yal has made some mistakes in the past, a lot of times it's more of an answer of like, oh yeah, but they're close enough, or like, oh yeah, but we get more people elected than any other liberty thing. And it's not just admitting that like, yeah, we did endorse somebody that wants to like recriminalize marijuana in a state where it's already legal. That's a thing that Yal did. I worked on that campaign. I literally had to sit there across from my candidate who had just smoked who I had just gotten high, and listen to him tell me about why he thinks weed should be recriminalized in Michigan. So like that's a thing that like some Yal candidates are about. There's plenty of other. My friend Brianna Coyle's done a lot more digging on this one than I have, and like so there's some really bad candidates in Yal's history, and I personally would blame almost all of that on former leadership that's not there anymore, and for reasons that almost completely had to do with money and popularity and nothing else. And it would be pretty easy to just kind of let that go and be how Yal used to be, and Yal's not like that anymore. And I don't think, and from what I've seen out of Yal for the last year, it's a different organization now.
Yeah, I think I guess it is a valid critique that there have been times where quantity has been put over quality. But we got some awesome new leadership in there, and I'm extremely hopeful.
Yes. I talked with I think Lauren had this Q&A thing during our leadership team call, and I learned a lot about her, and I really like her, and I really think that she has she has Yao in the best of her mind. Like, she will do. I'm high, so I can't freaking.
Well, she used to be. She was an LPer, I believe, at the Texas and the National LP. She was also a GOPer at some point. So she has the best of both worlds in her. So she's going to get up there, and I have a lot of faith that she's going to be principled, and she's going to steer Yao in the principled Ron Paul Liberty direction, which is where it should be going.
Great.
Agreed. Yeah, because a lot of people, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people have a lot of critiques for Ron Paul, but those are mostly unfounded. Like, if Yao was exclusively endorsing Ron Paul Republicans, then the critiques that people have of Yao wouldn't exist. Ron Paul obviously wouldn't have wanted to recriminalize any drugs of any kind. If Yao was running people that were getting up on the debate stages saying, let's legalize heroin, that would be Ron Paul style Republicans. And we found some of them, and some of them are running now. I fucking love, Nick Freitas is a beast.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I shit happens. Shit happens, and people make mistakes, and people lie to people. I'm sure most of those candidates lied on their surveys, and that's how they got the endorsement anyway. You can't blame anyone for that.
I think Anthony Sabatini in Florida is awesome. I think he's just another good example of a guy that did not lie on the survey at all, took a very honest survey, and we got him in there. And 90% of the stuff I've seen from him has just been awesome. I think he just announced a congressional campaign recently.
Yeah.
So I really hope that works out. But Anthony Sabatini should serve as an example of, I think, the kind of Republicans that we should focus on, and really Anthony Sabatini style Republicans are the way.
I dig it. Yeah, he's been doing good stuff down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the only Republican in Florida that supports legalizing cannabis, I think.
I think so, yeah. Or at least decriminalizing drugs in general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main reason why Sabatini is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer him over the last guy. The last guy who came to my first LTS. Brian Slayton, Texas rep from I forget which district, but I didn't like his whole criminal justice reform thing. But I like Sabatini's, so yeah.
So what about you, Garrett? Who are you most excited to see at Revolution? I don't think I heard an answer from you.
No, definitely that getting the NFT of Snowden.
Right, you did say that. My bad.
I'm also excited to meet all my coworkers. I have, like I said, joined pretty recently, and so I've only met one, and that was the former Key chair. She's the current Kentucky chair. Shout out to Autumn Robinson. Amazing. But yeah, no, I'm excited to meet all my my friends that I've made over the internet.
Can relate.
That's going to be the highlight for sure. Just Twitter's coming to life at Revolution 21.
Oh my god.
Everyone's tweeting about it.
Yeah, I mean, I know Ron Paul and Rand Paul are gonna be there, and Amash and Massey, but fuck them. I want to meet y'all. I want to meet people. I'm more excited for the people that I'm gonna hang out with at Revolution than the people I'm gonna. Oh, Ben died.
Oh,
Ben
yeah.
died, you know? Like, he's frozen. Ben?
Position.
Hear me? Can you not hear me? What is
There
happening?
you go.
Can you hear me?
Heating up now.
Oh, I don't know what just happened.
You froze in like the best position possible. You're like,
Cool.
What were you saying?
Ben, what were you saying? Say that
I
again.
don't even
'cause you cut
remember.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Okay, great. Great.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I think I said like
We were talking about being more excited to meet the people than the speakers.
oh, all I said was that's definitely going to be the highlight for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I definitely like Amash is pretty high up on my list of people to meet. Mostly just because I have like at least a little bit of hope that he might actually recognize me, or like him and I have at least interacted like in DMs and on Clubhouse and like outside of the public sphere, at least a tiny amount, to where I'm like, maybe he knows who I am. But like the rest of the people at Revolution probably don't. It's not going to be like last weekend was, where everybody knew my name, and that was weird.
I mean, Scott's going to be there, so we'll hang out with him.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I will get to smoke another blunt with Scott Horton. That's good. That'll be good.
I hope I can join you guys this time.
I hope I can join you.
I can't believe that you didn't join that smoke circle. Okay, y'all need to hear this, because like Ben was standing around a car from Scott Horton and Shane Hazel, and I apparently didn't notice because he was part of this smoke circle, and then Scott and Shane and some other people were over in this smoke circle, and I was kind of in between the two. And yeah, somehow
there were
you
so
just,
many
like,
smoke circles.
didn't walk around the truck. Like it was just, he was right there.
It was just a lot of people, man. There was like 5 smoke circles and one right outside of this hotel. By the way, just smoking not only cigarettes but cannabis right outside of this hotel.
In PA, where it's still very illegal.
It's actually, well, it is decriminalized in Pittsburgh, but there was enough there to get us all a felony. That's for sure.
You can still catch a felony in Tennessee for like personal possession of marijuana.
That's why you got to get the Delta 8 shit in Tennessee.
Yes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Delta 8 it should be legal everywhere in all 50 states.
It is, I think.
It is.
Yeah. Delta 8's legal in all.
I was going to pick some up tonight, actually.
Farm bill. I forget what the name of it was, but it passed through Congress and was signed.
Nug of knowledge.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Delta 8 is it's more on the anti-anxiety, anti-paranoia side. You still get high, it's just without those things.
That would be great for me.
Fast heart rate. So, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Delta 8's really awesome. I'm a big fan. It's not weed, like, right? It's not quite weed, but it's close to fucking enough.
It's technically weed. It's just missing one molecule thing. I'm not good at chemistry, but that thing, that hexagon thing, you know,
yeah, it's just Delta 8 is just a different kind of THC than what we're, because we normally smoke mostly Delta 9.
Yeah,
and it's just a different variation of it. It's like
different variations, same family though.
Yeah, it's like bourbon or whiskey. It's like that's basically the same fucking thing. It's not like you're drinking vodka instead. It's still pretty much the same.
Still in the brown liquor family.
Yeah. But because it's legal and because of how barely it is legal, it's so much cleaner. Like the carts especially are so much cleaner than what you would get even at a dispensary. Like I'm not even talking about like black market stuff, but just like comparing white market Delta 8 versus just regular THC stuff, it's so much cleaner, so much more efficient and stronger than almost anything you could get at a dispensary. So I'm a fan. I was happy when I discovered that I could actually buy weed in like North Georgia and Tennessee and like the random ass places that I was all year last year.
Yeah, when I discovered I could buy weed at my CBD store, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, they had flour too. And I was like,
I discovered Delta 8, funny enough, when I was in Tennessee a couple months ago when some friends and I were in Nashville. There was like this booth selling weed. They did not market their weed as Delta 8. They marketed this weed as real, just black market weed, but they were just selling in downtown. Then we're cool with the police. They had this whole story, and they had all these pre-rolls and all these edibles and carts and these blunts. It was crazy. And like the blunts had all this keef on it. It was a crazy setup. And then we like spent $100 at this place, and then we take it back to like our place or whatever, and we're smoking it, and we were all like, something is different about this stuff. Like something is off. and I asked the lady like the next day working that booth if it was Delta 8, and she was like, oh yeah, it's like a Delta 8 Delta 9 hybrid. So I'm like, okay,
that is not no. No,
that's just normal weed. Normal weed is Delta 8 and Delta 9 together, and Delta 7 and 12 and all these other fucking things. Like,
so yeah,
I didn't know there were so many deltas.
The lady she originally was like, yeah, so what we did was we sold CBD weed for a while, and then the people in Nashville who were smoking the CBD would get caught by the police, and then they would know it was CBD. So then after long enough, we just normalized CBD enough to sell real weed. That's what she had told me, but I'm pretty sure it was just Delta 8.
I mean, I am pretty excited because at this point, it's going to be almost impossible for people to actually keep up the criminalization of weed, because it's like all you have to do is like, it's Delta 8, bro.
Yeah.
And the amount of science that the police station would need to be able to do to prove that it wasn't Delta 8 is shit I don't even fully understand, let alone literally any of these fucking rent-a-cops across the country. Like,
It's like we should legalize drugs in this. Like,
they're wasting their time trying to figure out, is this CBD or is this Delta 8 or maybe it's Delta 9? Wait a second, maybe it could be cocaine.
I missed what Garrett just said. I missed what Garrett just said. Did Garrett try to say something?
I don't know.
Oh, we should just decriminalize all drugs, get rid of all drug laws. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
Why just decriminalize? Why not legalize all the drugs?
No, you don't need taxes or regulation on that.
See, that's such a very solid argument, like against legalization, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I definitely would say, because when you decriminalize it, it's still somewhat criminalized,
Yes.
right? And you're still putting innocent people in a fucking cage. So legalize
That is
it.
true. Legalize it.
well, either
feel
way,
it could
either
be
of those
switched
options,
to,
you're
like, a
still.
fine, not necessarily, and like the fine shouldn't be outrageous, like over $100.
I'm just thinking for Tennessee, like we have the most punitive drug laws in the country. We're not going to legalize weed, so like just working our way up there, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
In the
also-
meantime, Delta 8
Mhm.
legal everywhere.
True that. But also, like, to your point, Ben, legalizing it is still putting people in a cage for some shit. It's still making it illegal, because unless you have the stamp of approval that costs literally millions of dollars from any of the states that have legalized it so far, you're still going to jail if you sell it.
Yeah, I guess that's a given that you're going to have to go through all that red tape if it's legalized, right? So you got me there.
Honestly, that's why the sex work conversation is my favorite one to have with people on the left, because most sex work activists get that, and they're very, very decriminalize over legalize. And like a lot of them will correct you. If you say like legalize sex work online, you'll get like a shitstorm in the replies of like, no, decriminalize. And so I love having that conversation, because once I just kind of like make them explain that position and then be like, okay, so yeah, so do you have the same stances on like cocaine and weed? and it's very difficult for them to be like, no, I'm okay with people going to jail for selling that normally.
Yeah.
Especially if they're real
people who
leftists.
sell weed should go to jail, but sex work, it's normal.
Right.
You can also make a comparison to like the gun debate too, because like drugs and guns, like one thing they have in common is that they're both inanimate objects that are incapable of hurting people unless a person takes it upon themselves to use it to hurt themselves or other people, right? So, a lot of people on the left want to legalize the drugs. A lot of people on the right want to legalize the guns. It's like, you're both dumb. You're both just pieces of metal and plastic, and the drugs are just chemicals, and so you should just legalize them.
Just, yeah.
That's the most beautiful articulation of that I think I may have ever heard. That was amazing.
And that might have been the most beautiful laugh I've ever heard.
We have drugs.
Same thing.
Not money. I still need to get myself one of those T-shirts. I literally for my episode with Naomi Matthew, I made the Statue of Liberty and the graphic wearing the "Print Guns Not Money" T-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah. That's nice.
Cause I need to get myself one of those.
Me too.
I need way more Yal merch. I opened up an activist kit.
I'm a freaking state chick. I want more. I want more merch. I want more merch.
Wait, Jenny, do you have any like activist kits that you got sent that you didn't use for like an event? Because there's so much merch in there.
I have a whole bunch of friggin' 2A stuff.
You got a lot of stickers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got so many stickers.
Got a lot of constitutions.
So many stickers, so many freaking pins, and
I was making fun of Ben because he still has a bunch of campaign lit in like the back.
Oh my god!
Or the seat back pocket in his car. I was like, "Oh, who are we working for today?" The best part about Yal merch though is like you can kind of like play a game with it where you just like cover up half of a paragraph and try to like figure out what it says based off of the first half of the paragraph. It's pretty fucking easy to do because they all say the same thing.
I think my favorite one is the "Print Guns Not Money" sweatshirt. That's what I have. And I also got the laptop stickers. I would show you the laptop stickers, but I'm on my laptop right now.
Yeah, my laptop is covered with Yal stickers.
Yal needed to like make a come and take it shirt for like the turkey during Thanksgiving when that was a thing.
Yes.
That should have been a thing, and I'm sad it wasn't.
Are we all going to like show up to LTS with our laptop covered in the same stickers?
I have some stickers that people at LTS would love, and some stickers that people at LTS would hate.
Oh my god! Go off.
Okay.
I might not bring my laptop because of that.
Why? What stickers do you have on your laptop?
Oh, just some shit from the Center for a Stateless Society. That may or may not say some more left libertarian things, and
Oh my god.
I don't have to look. Okay, what is it? People in their Twitter bio always go like retweet doesn't equal endorsement, and I'm just like sticker on laptop doesn't equal endorsement because there's just so many.
There's just so many.
You know, like,
if you don't endorse them, then why did you put it on your laptop?
Because I literally, you should see my between my laptop, multiple of my guitars and my skateboard just covered in stickers, just stickers. I'm into it.
Yo,
You
Ben,
just grab a sticker and put it on. It doesn't even matter what it says or what it looks like.
No, literally, no. Like sometimes it's just I see a sticker. You're going on.
Oh my gosh.
Ben, what kind of guitar do you have?
I have a few.
A few.
and David didn't even see them all. Like there's a couple that
I only saw like 30 or 35.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Wow, cool.
I would say my favorite is this. I have a Fender Mustang bass that I play a lot. It's a parts caster though, so it's like I just like grabbed an old like body from a Squire Bronco base and a Mexican Fender Mustang neck,
Okay.
and then a new bridge, and then I got this Seymour Duncan hot rail pickup to put in instead of the single coil, and oh my god, dude, it's a beast. It just rips. It's just the coolest fucking instrument.
That's awesome. My friend has a gray Fender Mustang, and they're so nice to play. Dude, Fender does not make a bad looking guitar.
Nah, I'm such a simp for Fender.
Oh, dude, the maple necks. Oh, Maplewood.
Dude. Dude.
Jenny's just like, I'm lost.
Wait. You ever put your hands on a nice roasted maple neck though? That roasted maple is something else.
Yeah. Making Liberty win.
Cars. I don't have any like the only instrument I know how to play. My voice. That's it.
That's the best one. It's the most diverse one. You know, that's the one you can do the most cool shit with. Because you can, with your voice, you can scream, you can hum, you can sing, you can whistle. You know, you can yodel. You know,
you can't palm your voice. I guess you can.
Yeah, you just go, you know.
It's just covering your fucking mouth.
You have to jam out sometimes.
Yeah, dude. Wait,
Sarah and Jenny.
Fuck yeah.
Wait, what?
Jam out.
Garrett, bring your guitar to Revolution.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll jam.
I will probably.
I might bring my guitar to Rev too. Are we all just gonna jam?
I didn't know you played guitar. Go for it.
I do.
I don't.
I sing also, so I don't mind.
Okay, so Jenny, you have less than 2 months to learn how to play the guitar. Go.
No, Jenny can play the triangle. It's okay.
There you go. I love the triangle. That's like the most fun instrument. You can just be really obnoxious with it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Perfect for Jenny. We got
God.
this figured out.
You know what you can really be obnoxious with though, like the cymbals. Dude, that's if you want to be obnoxious, that's what I'd go with.
I will always love the stereotype of like percussionist in school band though, because like
me,
the dude that had the cymbals in school band
also
is
me.
always like the most problematic child in the room. It's like, this is like you can't fuck this up. So here, have the cymbals.
Dude, this is such a personal attack. You have no idea.
But is it landing correctly? Were you a problem child?
My sophomore year of high school, there's an argument to be made that I was a problem child.
It was a valid argument.
Pretty much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I will always find that funny though, because I was even watching what is it? School of Rock is the same fucking concept. He's just sitting there like and then just like waiting angrily until he can do it again. He's like just waiting angrily. It's like, hey, I remember those days.
No, it's
But
really
yes, Revolution Band 2021.
Oh yeah. We gotta name it.
I just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
21.
Wow.
And we
That's
can cover
fucking lame.
bases.
The Revolution 21 band.
We can play 21 Guns, okay?
And just 21 Pilots covers.
That's it.
Yeah.
21 Guns was actually like 21 Guns was the first song I ever actually played on stage on my guitar.
Heck yeah.
I really liked 21 Guns.
That's a really good one. First song that I played on stage with my guitar was Wonderwall.
Mine was Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix, but it was on the bass, not the guitar.
Nice.
Not the guitar. The bass part's a lot easier. The guitar part is not easy. It's hard.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever played on a stage, but I played Jesse's Girl for my mom's.
That is a classic.
Yo,
Yeah.
would you sing it too?
I played the melody of his voice.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's cool. That's
With
cool.
the pedals, yeah.
I one time
Nice.
recorded I recorded a cover of a John Mayer song for my mom,
Wow.
for Mother's Day.
Wow.
I went to the studio and got my acoustic guitar and I've never learned a John Mayer song before, but that dude writes some crazy the chords that dude can play.
Dude,
Just like
Neon?
even hard to
Yeah,
play.
that guy's a beast.
Yeah, but I had to just to make my mom happy, I had to sing John Mayer into this microphone to record it, and that was just awful. I don't recommend trying to sing John Mayer. Oh yeah, she loved it, but
Of course you loved it. Your mom.
That's honestly that's way more effort than I've put into any Mother's Day gift ever.
Oh, she's been honest about my musical abilities before, though. She's told me I'm trash when I'm trash, so that's there are times when someone needs to be told they are trash, in my opinion.
I agree, and it is definitely the mother's job in most circumstances.
Oh yeah,
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
or the best friend, one of the two. You got to have people around you that'll tell you you're trash.
There are ample supply of people willing to.
You just got to go on Twitter.
I didn't have anybody in my life, so that's why I started going back on Twitter. It was like, well, I need to have people tell me that I'm a fucking moron. So let's just shout into the void, shall we? It is fun though, because I didn't realize how contentious everything could be if taken incorrectly, 100% of the time. It's like whoever, Jack Dorsey figured out a way to take every single thing out of context always, perpetually on the same app.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the main problem. That's why the liberty movement wastes, in my opinion, I think and I'm such a freaking hypocrite right now because I'm always on Twitter, but the liberty movement having such a presence on Twitter is great. It can be really fun, but it inhibits the movement.
Oh, we waste our time arguing. I have stopped arguing back in September. And I've accomplished so much without arguing. If we simply just shut up and contributed a lot to the liberty movement, then we can accomplish so many things.
Yeah, I don't waste time on Twitter arguments. I don't like doing those things. They take too much of my time. I could be doing something else. I could be advocating for 2A on campus instead of arguing about gun control on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Agreed.
This is why I joke around saying I hate libertarians when I really don't. That's why I say it.
Yeah,
because you're not a real libertarian until you hate libertarians.
That's accurate. That's true.
Yes, that's very accurate. Libertarians are so freaking annoying.
I think we should just abolish that.
Abolish libertarians.
Oh, did you guys see that?
Say in the libertarian group chat on Twitter, I'm just abolish libertarians.
Dude, half of your tweets are abolish libertarians, all men are trash, and you just going, ah!
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Because those are my 3 moods.
Those are the 3 moods.
Fair.
Apparently, I'm a bot, according to Jenni Thee.
Yes. You look like a bot.
He does.
I disagree.
If I saw you in my DMs, I would have been like, who is this guy? No.
Be gone, bot.
Be gone, bot. Yeah, Twitter's fun, but I did almost what you did, Sarah, except for I fucked it up because I decided we need to stop arguing on Twitter. So me and my friends are gonna go on this whole fucking campaign for the last 5.5 months and argue with people about how they should stop arguing on Twitter.
Oh my god, that's trolls.
Just why?
Troll moment. I love that.
Stop talking for several days.
Oh
it's
my
just like,
gosh.
and I didn't even really notice what I had done until a few months into it. I was just like really going hard at a couple of people because they just weren't unity enough, and I was like, wait, this is the same thing. This is still just me trying to tell people where their priorities should be, and that's not how we do liberty. That's not how we do unity. But I still argue with people every day. Mostly because there's just a bunch of people that now follow me that just like decide. Like I have a bunch of hate followers now that just like follow me for the sake of arguing with everything that I post.
Honestly, same. That's what I do too. Like, I get a lot of hate for just saying one tweet. Like, so I use like light mode on my phone, and so one time I tweeted that, and everyone started hating on me, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with all you people?
No, what the heck? Why do you use light mode?
I do. I prefer it, Jenny.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I get hate for being from New Jersey. I'm used to it.
Well, that's more founded.
Honestly, the New
Next
York
week.
and California states aren't here, but California is much worse than New Jersey. So
Yeah, but at least it has like some redeeming qualities, like beautiful
New Jersey has
beaches and
several redeeming
sunlight.
qualities. Okay, yes.
What redeeming qualities is
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some.
Beaches,
They have-
Dunkin's at every corner, the gardens, the
They
food.
have the best state chair
okay.
in the union.
Hey,
Aw, thanks.
this is true. This is true. The only redeeming quality about New Jersey is Sara freaking Razi.
Yeah,
Thank you. I try.
I've been actively like I would love to trade Jersey City for Staten Island because like I like Jersey City, but that's about it. And like Jersey can have Staten Island because no one wants it.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind having Staten Island.
Right. I feel like most of Jersey would be cool with that. And I feel like most of like all of Staten Island would be super
Yeah.
cool with that. So
You've evolved past the need for Staten Island.
the world
Well,
has
I don't mean to sound like braggy or anything, but like I don't really get a lot of hate tweets on my page.
Good.
But I think I might be doing it wrong.
No. We're all doing it really wrong.
Tweeting on me, then, like,
Jenny, you need to get spicier. You need to compare government mandates to like horrific actions of the past, or you need to like, yeah.
First condemn those freaking tweets. I was like, no, y'all not gonna compare these freaking mask mandates to freaking water fountains. Y'all don't know anything.
Oh, but that's how you get Seth Rogen to respond to you on Twitter.
Seth Rogen?
Yeah,
Or well,
you didn't
that
see
was that was the other tweet. That was comparing
yeah.
vaccine passports to gold stars. That was a fun
Oh
one.
my gosh.
Mm.
That was so too
Ricky
far.
Dale Harrington Jr. did not like that other tweet though.
The
at
water
all.
fountain one, no.
No.
He
I
was.
didn't know
He
like
seemed
that
to be
one
like,
either.
yeah. There was. I still have mixed feelings about that one specifically because like I do get the like I kind of sided with the other team if we're gonna play team sports here on the gold star one because that was just like a bad example. Like it was just a bad post. Like it wasn't even a good like comparison. Like the hyperbole was just poor anyway. Where like the water fountains one was in response to an article about the Yankees and the Mets actually like fully segregating their entire stadiums based on vaccination status. And that's not a hypothesis. That's like a thing that they're actually going to do this year. It's like 100% a thing. So like to say like vaxxed and unvaxxed water fountains is probably going to be reality here in a couple of months. Like actually, like that's just scientifically thought process. Like that would make sense for them to do that.
It definitely is logical.
To keep germs separate and whatever. So that one I have just like a little bit less hate for than the rest of these bullshit hyperboles because it was at least like fairly. It like it was a less of a jump than the rest of these, because I really don't see that as too far from reality. However, like the way that it was done was clearly meant to piss people off. Like that's the intent of those types of memes, is to stir some shit and to make people think and to get people pissed off. And so I don't agree with that style of messaging in any way, shape, or form, but I also don't have quite as much of a problem with that one, just because like I said, I think it's probably going to be reality here in a few months if we keep going the way that we're going. But
That's valid.
Yes.
just my 2 cents on the matter. But yeah, I still definitely agree with you, Jenny. That, like, you know, we're not trying to piss people off. Like, that's not the point of Liberty. Like we're just talking. We spend way too much time as it is arguing with people online. Why would we start arguments online?
A lot of people will say, like, well, now they're talking about that issue, aren't they? It's like, well, for what reason? Like,
No.
in what light? Like, there's a way to, like, get a message across with, like, positivity and kindness and love, which is what we should be, all we should be doing. That's all we should be doing.
100%. Yeah, and the other thing is, like, no, they're not talking about that issue. Like, after the gold star thing, no one was talking about vaccine passports. They were talking about that comparison. That's it. That's all that Liberty Twitter talked about for almost 72 hours.
Yeah.
And I know that timeline is pretty accurate, because I didn't do my episode with Dave Smith and Rabbi Litvin until over 48 hours after the post. So, like, and we're still talking about it. I'm still getting comments on that video about this issue. So yeah, no, they weren't talking about vaccine passports. Thank you. I was
That might be my
one.
favorite episode of yours, to be honest.
Honestly, vaccine passports are just, oh my god,
Dude.
I don't even want to get started. We have to deal with that at Rutgers now.
Mm.
The longer there is talk of vaccine passports, and the more things seem to open up, and people are more and more okay with no masks and stuff. I don't know. I think, like, a vaccine passport, like, caste system, like the app on the phone or whatever, becoming less and less plausible, in my opinion. It started off when it first became an idea. Everyone was reactionary about it, and now I just think, you know, it's like the war in Syria, where they try to put some feelers out, and everyone's sort of reacting pretty terribly to it. And so I don't know. I have a feeling they're not going to go through with it, but I might be way too optimistic on that.
They're not going to go through with it the way that they said that they were going to in that leaked memo. That's for sure. They're going to have to go a different route. They realize that they can't go that route, and they're going to have to try a different thing. They're going to have to connect it to a different system. You know, they're going to have to go about it differently. That's why they put the feelers out there, to figure out if it's going to work, if they actually pull the trigger on a stupid idea like that.
They can't literally just do the thing the conspiracy theorists said they would do for the past 20 years.
They can't just do that and prove it right. They can't just do that.
I mean,
stop proving these theorists right.
Right. I will never actually come to terms with the fact that we live in the timeline that Alex Jones is more accurate than MSNBC.
No.
Like,
yeah, it's so true.
I agree with
God.
We should get Alex Jones at Rev.
Stop proving these theorists right. I don't like them being right.
we should get Alex Jones to Rev.
Like, how fucking sick would that be?
Lord.
That's a weird
Honestly,
echo right
someone
now.
get him.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
Jenny, you're in
Someone
Texas
get him.
with him.
Wait,
I
Jenny,
live
get
in
it.
Dallas, not Austin.
Okay, how far is Austin from you?
it's like a 2-hour drive, right?
Oh, that's nothing. That's totally worth getting Alex Jones to Rev.
Freaking-
I know Texas well.
It's like 4 or 5 hours.
Wait, why?
Aw.
Who told me it was 2 fucking hours?
That's less than I drove to meet Ben this weekend, so suck it up.
I'm like eating soup right now, so I forgot to eat dinner.
What kind of soup?
Can relate.
It is chicken noodle.
Nice.
Nice.
I know.
Nice.
I'm a fan of tomato myself. Tomato soup's pretty
Tomato soup is so good, especially with grilled cheese.
Oh,
Y'all are making me hungry. I might have to go eat.
yeah, same.
I did eat dinner, which is a rarity for me because I normally also forget. But being home is nice because my parents like cook meals at normal hours, and
Yeah.
then if I happen to be awake and not doing something like this when they're eating, I can like go downstairs and be like, "Oh, hey, food at a normal hour, nice." But that doesn't always happen. So
I like don't really I'm really bad at cooking for myself. So I am definitely usually eating food that was made for me at a restaurant. But going home every now and then to the home cooked meals, man, people don't appreciate it while they have it. They just don't.
for sure. I got really lucky. When I was in college, I was like 14 hours from home, but my best friend's older brother lived like 45 minutes from my school, so I could like go chill with him and his wife like at least every once in a while. I probably went there like once a month for the few months that I was there, and it was nice just to be able to like not be on campus, just not being around like a bunch of other fucking 18-year-old edgelord
Yeah.
that it was with real food and a couch instead of like a bunch of folding chairs duct taped together with like pillows on top of it or something. You know? It's a nice time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, I want to give you guys a chance to like pitch your why people should join YAL in your areas and what you guys have going on in the near future. So let's just go in the order that I brought you guys on. So Garrett first, whichever.
Yeah.
Pointing that way. There we go.
This way, yeah. Yeah, so why you should join YAL? I think there is a sort of cynicism that is attached to one's ability to make actual, measurable, effective legislative change, you know? I certainly had it. I certainly still have it. And I think that is a consequence of, kind of a liberty mindset, individualism. How can you do anything alone? One thing that YAL has done for me is they've not only shown me, but they've given me the tools, the resources, the knowledge, and just community to actually turn principle into policy and make liberty win. It is there if you believe it, take that leap of faith that you are capable of a lot more than what, politicians' favorite words is that my vote doesn't mean anything because they've convinced you that the power you have is futile. So if you're really interested, I'd join YAL and flip your world upside down like it did for me. So yeah.
All right. I love that. Ben, what you guys got going on in PA?
I guess the best way to pitch YAL would be to like explain why I got into YAL like more specifically. And I just, when I first got involved with YAL, I saw that not only were they, doing the thing that other orgs do, which is, educate people on campus and, recruit them to their ideology and stuff, but they're also doing legislative and campaign work along with that. And, by and large, both of those branches of YAL run along the same principle of liberty. And there's just something about, in my opinion, that sense of, you're doing your civic duty, I guess. And YAL gives you the means to do your civic duty. Like if you want to incrementally, get the government out of people's lives, YAL is actively doing that. And they've given me, a great opportunity, and a lot of good things to put on my resume.
Yeah. The reason why I think people should join YAL, gosh, where do I even begin? The reason why people should join is, especially if they are tired of sitting on the sidelines and feeling like there's nothing they can do to make a change of any sort. Like, people who are tired of the theater that is going on right now and wants to get back to the principles of politics and all that stuff. That's one of the reasons why people should join Yao. And not only that, like, you learn so much about being an activist, or even learning the whole part of like the legislative process, or like different parts of politics where you could participate, where your contribution advances the liberty movement. So there's so many avenues you can go down into, but the fact that Yao offers those types of resources, and for example, leadership positions, like, it helps you further down the road. So I recommend it.
Well, I think why people in the Northeast, especially in New Jersey, should join Yao is because we have been under lockdown for a year and a half. We have been restricted from our rights, our personal rights, and our bodily autonomy when it comes to having the personal decision to take a COVID vaccine, to wearing a mask on your face is just stripped away from you. We in the Northeast are forced to let go of our rights and to condemn to the government. But why should we? Instead, people in New Jersey must actually grow a spine and actually say no to the government and stand up against it. Therefore, Yale is the best way for New Jersey to survive and to have a chance at gaining liberty, because there is no state in the U.S. that needs liberty more than New Jersey.
Damn right.
Damn, that sounded rehearsed and practiced. That was fire.
I'm just speaking out of my
That
heart,
was
man.
a great fact. The truth doesn't blush.
Big cat energy.
It's the freaking truth.
Well, guys, you heard it all from these guys. I'm not going to even try to tell you why you should join Yao, other than because they produce fucking amazing humans like these four and so many others that I've gotten the absolute pleasure of getting to meet and work with and interact with. And if you guys want to be making liberty win, you should be doing it too, for sure. But thanks for watching. This has been awesome. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. This was fucking great.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having us.
My pleasure. Well, if you guys haven't already done so, like this video because it was fun. Subscribe to the channel because more fun videos come out twice a week. And
apply for Revolution 2021.
And use Ben
Feel free
Heckman
to use
as a
Jenni the Libertarian
Use
as a
Sara
referral.
Razi.
Ben
Good night,
Heckman.
everyone.
Heckman.
Use corn pop.
Heckman.
Just put
No.
corn pop down as your referral.
I would love it if a whole bunch of referrals come in with Ben Heckman. That would just make me
No credit.
Damn.
great.
That's so funny.
Well, guys, again, thanks for watching. We'll catch you back here next time. Until then, keep up the fight.